Boomer Esiason, 1993, the NFL on TNT, Phil Simms, and Nobody Beats the Wiz. Yeah, that's what you're about to see.
The Boomer, Norman Jr. Boomer Esiason has joined us. His New York Jets playing very well. And Boomer, this is a real first here. And as Kevin said, as big as it gets, we got both the New York quarterbacks with us. So thanks for joining us. Congratulations on that game today.
Well, thank you very much. It was a total victory. As Phil will tell you, that our defense played terrific. You know, they forced Drew into some, bad decisions, but they took advantage of the fact that he was a young quarterback. We both remember what that was like. So I told Coach Parcells after the game that he has a great one. Good times are just ahead.
First things first, yes, folks, TNT did have the NFL for a good chunk of the 90s. From 90 to 97, Sunday Night Football, although it wasn't called Sunday Night Football, Sunday Night Football was on TNT. It rotated with ESPN. TNT had the first half of the season, ESPN had the second half. And if a World Series game was played on Sunday, they would instead move it to Thursday night. And that's how it went in the 90s. Sunday Night Football wasn't a big deal. Monday night was the big game. Sunday was an afterthought. It wasn't even considered. I mean, of course, it was prime time, but it wasn't considered anything above the 4 o'clock game on Sunday. You know, that Madden Summerall CBS spot. So yeah, TNT. And there's Phil Simms working a little media for TNT, working a little in the booth, despite the fact he's still playing. This is 93. This is his last season. He made the Pro Bowl this season. Boomer, the Jets, they annihilate the Patriots 45-7 on this night, move to 2-1, and the Bruce Coslet Jets, who signed all this Super Bowl experience during the offseason, Boomer Esiason, Ronnie Lott, get off to a good start, 2-1.
Well, New York is leading the league, I guess, in blonde quarterbacks right now.
That's one hell of an observation.
The history of quarterbacks in New York, of course, Phil's been around a lot of years. You're a New York quarterback. You're from New York. Of course, you remember Joe Namath.
The East Islip kid who went to Maryland, went to Cincy, went to a Super Bowl, was one John Taylor slant away from winning a Super Bowl, won an MVP, did come back to New York in 93. Big-time Rangers fan as well. But what's important and what you're wondering right now is his sleeves cutting off the circulation to his arms? That's the real question.
Tell us about the feeling of playing quarterback in New York and the load you have to carry.
Well, I know one thing. I wouldn't be as crazy as Phil and be here if it were a Giant game, I'll tell you that.
Then that's the answer, ladies and gentlemen, when you knew Boomer Esiason was poised to become a giant New York media star.
But no, playing here there's added pressure. There's no question about that. I know that from growing up here. But I got a good team. I'm back with a coach that knows me and is going to put me in the best situation for me.
Remember, Boomer wasn't a free agent. This was not Neil O'Donnell. Paul Brown sent him to Bruce Coslet, his former offensive coordinator, his play caller. Jets acquired him for a third-round pick. And it was a good trade all the way around. But remember, it was a trade, and Paul Brown actually had to get Boomer to where he wanted to go, New York.
I've been able to succeed because we have a good defense. I got Rob Moore's making some great plays for me. Got good running backs. I mean, I'm just, the last piece maybe of the puzzle. So by no means is it just me.
And I got to thank Boomer for coming to New York, too. Because I've been here, it was my 15th year. I've never done one local commercial. Boomer came to town, and I finally got one. Of course, he was in it with me, but I appreciate it.
Phil, this is great. Sitting here with you, watching the Jet game.
Boomer, it'd be a lot better if we're watching the Giant game.
Jets.
Giants!
Jets!
Giants!
Check here this week at Nobody Beats the Wiz Circular for great buys on a huge selection of top brand TVs from 2 inches to 70 inches.
This is a beautiful thing. We can watch the Jets game and the Giant game.
Boomer, it'd be a lot better if we watch the Giants and just a little bit of the Jets.
Jets! No, Giants! Jets!
I can't believe Nobody Beats the Wiz is gone. And that picture-in-picture, I remember as a kid, that was ingenious. You looked at it, you couldn't believe your eyes. 2 screens at once. Looking back now, completely ridiculous. But what are you going to do?
Well, you know, we're going to have to go out for one after the game. We'll talk about a quarter pounder, of course.
Exactly.
Tell me, how much of this game is mental, Boomer? The last 2 years in Cincinnati, you're struggling, your line's coming apart a little bit. You come back here, you're reborn. You're not only playing well, you're playing as well as anybody in the league. Is it a mental thing?
Yep, look at Boomer's left arm. It's purple. Losing circulation.
I think it is a little bit, and I probably tried to take a little bit too much on last year, especially in Cincinnati with the new young coach. And fortunately enough for me at that time, David Shula gave me a lot of reign. He gave me the opportunity to absorb a lot, and I think I probably took on too much. And he kind of scaled it down for me as the season went on. And then finally it was just a matter of, you know, could David Klingler handle it? If he could, then basically I was out the door. And that was fine with me because I knew eventually that was going to happen anyway.
You know, those 93 Jets really could have done something. Started 2-1 after this one. Lost the next 3. Fell to 2-4. ESPN did a big segment. Disappointing Jets. Then they won the next 5 games, starting with the Giants. The Giants were 5-1. Jets beat them. That started a 5-game winning streak. They got to 7-4. Finished 8-8. A season with promise, with veterans, just didn't happen for Boomer and the Jets.